What's your perspective on the Lions signing all these guys like preemptively? Is
Uh,
we haven't
I
really
like
seen.
it.
Yeah,
I like it. Well, okay, so from an organizational perspective, I like it. I think the Lions have a really good sense of kind of who these players are. So getting them early and locked down before they kind of explode in value or hit free agency is good. It's also really great. I think this is an underrated element of it. I think it's really great for the locker room. It really gets people to buy in and see that they're rewarded for their effort. I think from a player side, I don't super love it. If I were a player, I'd wanna tease that out as long as possible,
hmm
because like I did say, earlier, like, hey, what's the difference between 43 and 45? But for a lot of these players, that's not the question we're asking. It's about guarantees. It's about pretty substantial differences in money. If you're having the year that or the 2 years that Ali McNeil is having, I mean, that's somebody I'd go after in free agency. Jesus Christ. So,
hmm
that one is a little interesting. So from a player side, I don't super love it. Obviously, they're adults and they're making their own decisions. They're really happy to make these choices, so that's great. But from an organizational perspective, I think it's fantastic. I don't see an issue with it at all.
Yeah, I agree with you. It the Lions that know these players. It's better than taking a free agent and you don't know the ins and outs. They know these players. They've drafted them. But I always wonder about the mental side of this later on, like where Amon Ra, after a few years might be the 11th, 12th paid wide receiver because we signed him early. Would he be disgruntled? You know,
Yeah,
I
and the
don't think
Vikings have
so.
had that problem with, when they've signed people early. Like Daniil Hunter is a really famous example of that. They locked him down early. They got him under market value, and he became a disgruntled player. This has happened with a couple of other players the Vikings have signed early, and that's something you have to worry about. But I think if you're really good at locker room management, not a huge issue.
Mhm.
But you probably have to pay back that faith and just be like, okay, um, we'll renegotiate your contract in good faith. Like I think you have to do that a little bit when that happens.
I think that's where the David Montgomery signing come in, right? I mean, they had him 3 years for 18,000,000 and he's playing lights out, so they gave him the 2-year extension. So the example you're saying is, we got him under market value, let's kinda, correct this, keep
Yeah.
this guy happy.